Hello everybody, it's Yao9 here once again, and would you look at the background, it's actually a little different now because the one figure that I've never actually shown off on this channel, there's a bunch of them back there, but one of the few figures I didn't show off on this channel is actually missing from the background, and that is why we have a special review today. And this review is not of one figure, oh no. Two? Nice guess, but that's not it either. But three almost identical copies of the exact same figure. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to the review of the Emupaiya heater figure from Emupaiya. In any case, here is the packaging for all three heaters. I actually only have one copy on display at the moment, which is why I only have one copy on me, but they are all identical. All the heaters came in with the identical packaging, which is this header tag that says Emupaiya with footage from what appears to be a live-action movie, Emupaiya no Kaiju series. On the back, we have Emupaiya no Kaiju Sofubi series number 2, Nessenju Hita Emupaiya no Kaiju series, and it's for ages 16 and up, with a bunch of other monsters shown on the other side, most of them never getting released. Now, if you remember my review from last year of Metro Kabayan back under here, you will see that there is heater up there, and you will see that there is H up there, and we will get to H eventually. Unfortunately, my copy of H is not the official figure, but actually a free giveaway keychain. The two monsters from this film that were not released, other than some of the other more outrageous ones, were Neshi up here and Kingdom down here. But in any case, we're not reviewing monsters that never got figures. We're reviewing the three copies of heater that I have right here. Now, if you guys pay attention to my channel, you will know that I am a heavy subscriber of the video game Pachimon Kaiju Dainesen. And as of the second game, Pachimon Kaiju Dainesen Final Wars, which is finally being released last year, you will know, or was it this year? I don't remember. But you will know that this character is actually prominently featured in that game. And although you would know that my favorite character to play in the entire game, other than Digress, is Kamen Thunder back there, you will also know that you probably also didn't know that Heater is also one of my commonly used characters. However, these heaters are not actually based off of the game variant, but rather the variant seen in this film, Moretsu Kaiju Daikesen, that was created by Emupaiya for their 10th anniversary. And if I could review movies on my channel, which I might, but I probably won't, this movie is it's an absolute ruckus. But in any case, this movie cover does show off two of the monsters that we never get to see. Umijin Debiru Kobayan, which is basically a dude, and this thing. Kaiju Ojisan Suwan is the background character for our narration, and on the back we have random stuff inside the DVD, because this is turning into a DVD review for some reason. We have disc and a postcard that allows you to purchase a Golden King heater. Unfortunately, this is expired as of 2008 in September, so yeah, kind of a missed opportunity on my part, but whatever. But in any case, with the full package assembled, let us get on to the actual review. And for this entire review, I'm going to be taking a look at the copy here, because it is actually very unique as to how this copy was made. Only Lord knows what he could be thinking behind those glowing red eyes. The heater figure is not actually that well detailed, especially because the sculpt is actually rather smooth throughout the entire figure. Now, that's not to say it's not a good figure, because it's actually fairly accurate to how it was portrayed in the film that it came from. The suit has all the wrinkles for where they shoved in these flamethrower bits, and the legs are actually slightly bent, and they have nice sculpting under too. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a lot of texture. The entire figure is extremely smooth. There's not a lot of detail on this thing. Now, I'm picking out this copy to review mainly because this is the most accurate variant compared to the movie. Now, in the film, the heater that we saw was kind of a sky blue with a reflective filter over the eye, so that you can't actually see what's on the inside The other two variants are the exact same figure, however they do have some minor differences in terms of their paint job. This variant, they don't really have names, they're just variants, has the orange in the ears instead of the black, and golden eyes, as well as yellow, or not yellow, as well as silver for the flamethrowers instead of the yellow on the original, and a darker blue spray. And finally, this variant, which came with a pack in H, is molded entirely in black with no color sprays and yellow eyes. One of the interesting things about this heater is the fact that it comes with additional features. All three heaters come with a removable head that you can simply pop off, and underneath is a head. If this head looks like blackface, you're kind of right, but then again, Japan is very xenophobic anyway. Under the blue one, it is not painted. Under the black with spray one, it is actually slightly painted with silver glasses, blue lenses, and pink lips. And finally, on the completely black one, or the completely unpainted one, it is a kind of flesh-colored, flesh-toned glass rim with blue lenses and pink lips. To say this thing is kind of racist looking is to be stating an understatement. Even though they have sculpted details underneath, it does not actually impact their articulation whatsoever. Because speaking of articulation, these figures actually have a lot more articulation than you would actually expect. Now, the head obviously rotates 360 degrees on the head with no issues, but the arms also rotate as well, and that is to be expected. However, we also have a torso joint, as well as joints in the legs. This figure, this blue version, is a slightly harder vinyl than the rest, which is why, again, I picked this one out to review it, as it is one of these more special copies. And the other two are soft vinyl, so they have a lot less of an issue trying to rotate their joints. They can all pull off their two armed in the sky pose. And generally speaking, the articulation is very good on these figures. I'm quite impressed with them. Finally, let's try some size comparisons between the figures just to show off what they're actually capable of. Now, these figures are made to a higher scale or taller scale than most Bandai figures, so undersized figures, especially from the Ultra Monster series, such as this Bazzob here, doesn't really work in this standard. And unfortunately, since Bazzob doesn't work, you can't really expect the rest of them to work either, because Monsterger is only barely taller as well. However, the Pachimon kaiju business is kind of an indie thing, and these indies have quite the strength hold on how their figures are organized. For example, this Buster Call Amapro Pananga here is actually in scale with Heater to an extent, even though this guy has no stats. Similarly, our hero Kabin Sunder is also in scale, and be warned, just to let you guys know, there is going to be a Kabin Sunder versus Heater coming out soon. But in any case, Heater is actually quite a tall figure, and even bull marks go together well with this thing. So if you have a collection of rather large kaiju figures, I'm going to be the first one to tell you that the Heaters are actually not bad options for that collection. And so in the end, I give this figure a almost perfect 5 out of 5. Or actually, no, it is perfect. The casting process for these figures are actually very smooth, and even though the vinyl has no texture on its own, it's still very impressive to see that an indie company was able to come out and make these figures very professionally. And of course, I missed it on the bottom of the feet, but on the bottom of the feet it says Japan, and on the other foot, or on this foot, it says Japan, and on the other foot it says Emupaiya BT. In any case, these figures are actually very well made, and they look great for how much they're worth. I was able to find these about $30 each, and they were very much worth it. And if you are a fan of Pachimon stuff, this stuff is actually not that hard to come by. They pop up very regularly on places such as eBay, Mandarake, and Yahoo Japan auctions. So if you're interested at all, I'd say go give it a shot. These are not bad figures. They're very much worth your money. Of course, they're not very popular because they're not, really anything branded. But, in my opinion, screw branded items, because indie stuff is actually really cool. But that's been a review. I'd still recommend it to anybody who's even remotely interested in kaiju. The final score again is a 5 out of 5. This is Yan and I will see you guys next time.